Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Andrew. Today I am continuing with my series all about religion. Before I get into my challenge, I do want to say that no matter what your beliefs, I feel you are entitled to them. And I personally do not care whether you believe in a God, don't believe in a God, believe in multiple gods, whatever. That's up to you. That's your personal belief and your personal choice. And in no way do I respect someone less for what they believe in. The time that the point where I start to lose respect for a person is when they think that they should be able to dictate what I believe because they believe something. I think that comes out of a lot of entitlement, and that's when I will have a problem with someone. And that's true whether it's an atheist, that's true whether it's a very religious person, no matter what the religion. So that being said, I do have a challenge because as I mentioned in the last video, when I tell people that I'm agnostic or a non-theist, they tend to have a couple different things they say to me. One of which was that I cannot be a moral person because morals are given by God and religion. Well, which God and which religion gives the right morals? Because almost every religion claims that they're the right one. So which one is the right one? Oh, I could get you guys fighting. No, I'm not going to do that. This challenge is not mine. I did not develop this challenge. This challenge was developed by someone way, way, way smarter than me. This challenge was developed by a gentleman by the name of Christopher Hitchens. If you don't know much about him or haven't heard of him, it's kind of fun to go on YouTube and watch some of the best of clips that people have posted of Christopher Hitchens. He's a very well-educated, very intelligent gentleman. He was actually named one of the 4 horsemen of the atheist apocalypse by religious people, so that kind of tells you what they think of him. And so he created this challenge, and he has since passed away, and I will continue this challenge to honor him. A lot of my counter views to religion actually come from people like Christopher Hitchens, so I feel this is a great way to keep his memory going. So all I want you to do is name 2 things. So first, name an immoral or evil action done by a believer or a religious person in the name of their religion or God. Have you thought of one? There are lots. I know. I created a list myself. Now, secondly, and I honestly believe this is a lot harder, name a moral action that a religious person can commit that a non-believer can't. If morals are given by God or given through religion, then you should have a list of how you are more moral and can do moral things compared to a non-believer like myself. Now, whenever I've asked this challenge of people, I've always been given 2 answers, and I kind of want to go into why those answers aren't, in my opinion, good answers to this challenge. The first is tithing. Tithing, if you don't know, is donating 10% of your salary to the church. This is not even actually agreed to by educated people when it comes to religion, whether it is a Christian tradition. Most of it comes from the Old Testament. And that salary, that 10% of your salary that goes to the church, they do with however they want. They don't have to let you know where the money goes. I personally, if I'm donating something to someone, I want to know where that money's going and what good is going to be done with that money personally. And for the very little information they've given, it generally does not go to any sort of charity. Most goes to wages of priests and construction or renovation costs. So Vatican City, or the Catholic Church, is considered the 18th wealthiest nation in the world per capita, but it needs your 10% of your salary. The Vatican holds so much gold, so many paintings, sculptures. If they really, really needed that amount, they could sell a couple of those off and have way more than what you're ever going to be able to donate to them. But why would they do that if they have people giving them money? Fair enough. But to me personally, and this is where I have the issue of this being an answer to this challenge, paying for a service that should be free for everyone is not, in my opinion, a moral action. If you want to, by the way, go for it. I'm not saying don't do it. But even if I was Christian and a believer, I would not tithe. If I was to, I would give that 10% away to a charity. That charity would have to have a good record of success, and also that charity would have to prove that they don't put much of that donation into the cost of wages and operating costs. If you were not aware, a lot of charities out there, a significant majority of the money they are given to wages and operating costs of that charity. Some charities are even up to 95% of the donation go towards those two things. So be aware when you're donating of this problem, and make sure you do your due diligence and your research. And if they're not willing to give you that information and you're not able to find that information, maybe that's not a charity that deserves your money. I would kind of find it interesting to go to a priest and say, I'm actually thinking about tithing, doing the 10% thing, but I feel like I would rather that money goes to charity to help people, because I think that would be a better use of my money. What do you think I should do? I would love to know what an average priest would say to that in that moment. And either way, I would find the answer very, very interesting. And secondly, the second challenge the second answer to the challenge is generally prayer. Now, there have been multiple studies done looking at the effect of prayer, and the results are very interesting. Basically, the studies have concluded that if a religious person says they are going to pray for you, the person that the prayer is intended for feels an effect on the prayer, but there are a couple caveats, and those are where it becomes interesting. So first, the effect is felt at the same level. The effect is felt at the same level whether they just say they're going to pray for you or whether they actually pray for you. But hold on, if you actually pray for them, shouldn't it feel more? It's an interesting question, isn't it? Number two, if a person is non-religious, it tends to have less of an effect, but it does still have some effect. Aren't we all God's children, and would God be so petty as to reduce the effect for a non-believer? I don't know. And number three, if the person praying prays for someone but doesn't tell them, that person feels absolutely no effect whatsoever. And that one kind of seals the deal for me. This, by the way, if you're wondering, is the placebo effect. And although the placebo effect in medicine, and it's been long argued in medicine that some people should just be given sugar pills to work as a placebo effect. And by the way, people who are given sugar pills and still told that, well, this may fix this problem, will actually have that problem still fix itself, generally to a lesser degree, but it can still work, believe it or not, as in number 2. But there's been a lot of debate about that in medicine, because they consider that to be immoral. So is it immoral in prayer as well? Interesting. Now, in my opinion, and this is where I'm going to piss off a few people, I'm sure, and understand that this is just my belief and you're entitled to yours like I'm entitled to mine. Telling someone that you're going to pray for them is the very definition of doing the absolute least possible thing while still feeling like you're actually making a difference. A lot of people do this, and okay, fine. But instead of maybe helping someone financially, you just pray for them, and maybe God will give them that money. But hey, at least I've done something for them, right? And if they're sick, instead of helping them get better, maybe making them food, bringing them that food, helping to nurse them back to health, you just pray for them. And, if they get better, hey, I did something to help. So that is my challenge to people who tell me that I'm not a moral person because I don't believe in a God or in a religion. So if you have other answers to that question other than tithe and prayer, I would love to hear them. Put them in the comments below, and I will try to respond to people I can. I usually respond about 24 hours after a video goes up. Sometimes it's a little sooner, sometimes it's a little later, but I will try to get to some of these responses. Until my next video, though, I hope you have a good day, and I will see you in the next one. That is where I start to look at historical examples of not so moral, even let's say immoral actions by the church throughout history. So that should be a fun video. Until then, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.